Solve equations with variables on both sides. Example number 1. Here I have 8 plus 4d equals 5d. You can see that d is on both sides of the equal sign. I need all of the variables on one side of the equation. I'm going to subtract 4d from both sides. It's added, so the opposite would be to subtract. These will cancel. 8 comes down. 4 from 5 is 1, so I have 1d. Or you can just write d. So 8 equals d. Example number 2. 6n minus 1 equals 4n minus 5. I need all of my n's on one side of the equation. This time, I'm going to move my variables to the left side of the equation. I'm going to subtract 4n from both sides. These will cancel. This is a negative 5, it comes down. 6n minus 4n is 2n. This minus 1 will also come down. Now, I'm going to isolate my variable. Now that I have just one n in the equation, I'm going to get it by itself. So cover up where the variable is. I have this minus 1. I need to add. It's the opposite of subtraction. So add 1 to both sides of the equation. 2n equals negative 5 plus 1 is negative 4. 2n equals negative 4. This is 2 times n, so the opposite is to divide both sides by 2. 2n divided by 2 is 1n. Negative 4 divided by 2. A negative divided by a positive is a negative. So n equals negative 2. Example number 3. Green's Gym charges a one-time fee of $50 plus $30 per session for a personal trainer. A new gym charges a yearly fee of $250 plus $10 for each session with the trainer. For how many sessions is the cost of the two gyms the same? So I went through and underlined the important information. $50 plus $30 per session. $50 plus $30 per session, and it said S represents the number of sessions. And then for the other gym, $250 plus $10 for each session. $250 plus $10 per session. S represents the number of sessions again. And I want them to be the same. That means I want to know when they are going to be equal to each other. Now I have an equation with variables on both sides. I need all of the s's on one side of the equation. So I'm going to move 10s to the other side by doing the opposite of addition. I'm going to subtract 10s from both sides of the equation. So I have 250 on the right side. I have 30s minus 10s, that's 20s. And this 50 is going to carry down also. Now I need s's by themselves. So I need to get 20s by itself, cover it up. I need this 50 to go to the other side. It's positive, so I'm going to do the opposite. Subtract. Subtract 50 from both sides. I get 20s equals 200. And it might be a little hard to read, so I'm going to write 20s equals 200 right here. And you're going to divide both sides by 20. So S equals 10. The cost is the same for 10 sessions. Example number 4. 2/3 x minus 1 equals 9 minus 1/6 x. Clear the fractions first. Now, you can add and subtract fractions, and if you're good at it, then fine. Do it your way. However, I think it's the easiest to go ahead and get rid of the fractions because most people mess up on them. So, you're going to look for the least common multiple of the denominator. Let's talk about this. 3 and 6 are the denominators. You want the smallest number that 3 and 6 can both divide into evenly. Well, the smallest number 3 and 6 both go into evenly is 6. So I'm going to multiply every single term by 6. That will make all of the fractions go away. So put big parentheses, and I'm going to multiply everything by 6. 6 times 2/3 is 4, and it has an x, so now that's 4x. 6 times -1, that's -6. 6 times 9 is 54, and 6 times -1/6x is -1x, or you could just say -x. Notice no more fractions. I still have x on both sides, so I need to put all of my x's on one side of the equation and everything else on the other side. I'm going to add 1x to both sides. Now my x's are all on the left side, and I have 54 on the right. 4x plus another x is 5x. So I have 5x minus 6 equals 54. I need to get x by itself. Cover it up. I need to get this minus 6 to go to the other side, and I do that by adding the opposite. So I have 5x equals 60. And your next step is to divide both sides by 5. So x equals 12. And you can take 12 and plug it back into the original problem everywhere you see x, and it should make the left and the right side of the equations true.